This information session is for Spanish 102 web-based courses. What we're going to be talking about today is the imperfect tense. The imperfect tense is another past tense in Spanish. It is the easiest tense in Spanish to learn how to form because the imperfect tense only has 3 irregulars in the whole tense. And if you've hung in Spanish this far, you know that the present tense has a lot of irregulars. You've got stem changes. You have irregulars like tener and ir, ser, estar, etc. The preterite tense also has a ton of irregulars, but the imperfect tense only has 3 in the entire tense. The imperfect tense, again, is a past tense, so it's going to be saying like I bought, I spoke, she studied, etc. It's going to be in the past. And a little while later we'll talk about what's the difference between the preterite tense and the imperfect tense and when you use each one. Alright, the imperfect tense for AR verbs, and you have an imperfect tense for ER and IR verbs, or endings, I guess you want to say. For the yo form, your ending is going to be aba. For ER and IR, it's going to be ia. For the to form, it's going to be abas. This one is going to be ias. For él, ella, and usted, it's going to be aba. This one's going to be ia. For the nosotros, it's going to be habamos. This one is going to be íamos. And for the ellos, ellas, and ustedes, the ending is going to be haban. And this ending is going to be ian. So if you take the verb hablar, it's going to be yo hablaba, tú hablabas, él, ella, o usted hablaba. It's going to be nosotros hablábamos. Ellos and ustedes is going to be hablaban. If you take the verb eat over here, it would be yo comía, tú comías, él, ella, usted comía, comíamos, and comían. Alright, let me put this up here. The 3 irregulars in Spanish are ser, ir, and ver. So that means that any verb in Spanish that ends in the letters AR, you're going to use these endings right here. There are 0 stem changes in the imperfect tense. Even if it stem changes in the present tense or in the preterite tense, it does not stem change in the imperfect. For example, the verb almorzar, to have lunch, is an O-T-U-E, but in the imperfect, it doesn't do that. It's just the verb almorzaba, almorzabas, etc. No stem change. For any verb besides ser, ir, and ver, these are your endings here. Again, no stem changes. So even if you have the verb pedir, which means to ask for, It's normally an E to I in the present. It does not have a stem change in the imperfect. So it is just paideia, paideias, paideia, etc. This should be a refreshing change from all of the other things that you've had to cram into your brain, because there are so many irregular verbs in all languages. Alright, let's do the verb to go, to be, and to see. Again, these are the only irregular verbs in the entire imperfect tense. So once you've mastered these three verbs and your endings, then you're good to go in the entire tense. This verb is going to be iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, and iban. Now that is I went, you went, he or she went, we went, and they went. Alright, the verb ser. Let me put my accent there for íbamos. The verb ser is going to be era, eras, era, éramos, and eran. That's I was, you were, he or she was, we were, they were. Ver, which is to see. This is going to be saw. I saw. Veías. Oops. Veía. Veíamos. And veían. This verb has the regular ER endings on it. Ia, ias, ia, íamos, and ian. But the reason that it's irregular is that it keeps that E from the verb ver. Alright, one more time. This one is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, iban. Era, eras, era, éramos, eran. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, and veían. And this is the entire imperfect tense. The aba, abas, aba endings, the ia, ias, ia, and these three irregulars. No stem changes.